Hello and welcome back. It's been a while. I've been working on this new background you see here. Hopefully it's so dazzling to you all that you forget how long you had to wait for a new video. Today, we're living life a quarter mile at a time. A film franchise can be many different things, and the value of a franchise can be measured in many different ways. James Bond is the longest running at 58 years, and it has the most movies with 24. It would be 25 if they would just release No Time to Die already, but I'm not bitter. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has the highest box office take with a heart-stopping $22.6 billion. And they would match James Bond's 24 movies if they would release Black Widow already. It's safe to say either Star Wars or Star Trek has the most dedicated fan base. And then there's the Fast and the Furious, the odd one out, the black sheep, the red-headed stepchild, if you will. It doesn't get half the attention of these other franchises, but for my money, it's more important. More important overall? No. No, I wouldn't say that. But I will say the Fast and the Furious franchise is the most important franchise of the last 20 years. Now, I'm going to back that statement up, but first, I'm going to lay out a few key differences between this franchise and the others. First is the origin. Most film franchises stem from something that came before. James Bond, Harry Potter, Jurassic Park, The Lord of the Rings, and Jason Bourne all came from books. Obviously, the MCU and the DC movies came from comics.
Hey, where are all my comic books?
Oh, those dreadful things. I gave those away.
Transformers and Mission Impossible were adapted from TV shows. Star Wars and Star Trek are the big exceptions here.
Excuse me.
Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret about the Fast and Furious franchise. The first movie was not an entirely original idea. There was a 1954 film with the same name, but it's not based on that either. They just liked the title so much that they paid to license it. The Fast and the Furious was based on an article by Kenneth called Racer X that was published in the May 1998 issue of Vibe magazine. That's right. This $6 billion worldwide blockbuster mega franchise that spans 9 movies with the 10th on the way is based on an obscure magazine article from the late 90s. Don't you just love that? Rob Cohen, who directed the first movie, read the article and got excited. It was about the underground street racing scene in New York City, and he showed it to Neil Moritz, the producer, who read it and did not share Rob's excitement. Eventually, Neil actually went to a street race, and he started to understand. He started to visualize a movie. And that leads us to the second reason this franchise stands out from the crowd. When Neil Moritz went to that street race, what struck him most was the diversity. He loved the fact that whites, blacks, Asians, Latinos all came together in a place where there was only one kind of race that mattered, and it had nothing to do with the color of your skin. They were there for the street races. They were there for the cars. This is where they spent their time. This is how they lived their life. It was a community. It was a family. And if you know anything about the Fast and the Furious movies, you know where I'm going with this. Family is not only the major theme of the first movie, it's the major theme throughout the franchise. You can't even go to the bathroom during a Fast and Furious movie without missing a speech about family from Vin Diesel.
Salute me, familia. Salute.
The Fast and the Furious is not the only franchise with an overarching theme, but it is the most aggressive about it. And that's a good thing. If you're going to showboat your theme, it better be a good one, and the concept of family is a great theme. The third major difference between this franchise and others is the box office. The third movie, Tokyo Drift, was a hair's breadth from going direct to video. The fifth movie, 2 movies later, was a worldwide blockbuster. This never happens. Occasionally, a franchise will go from the top shelf to the bottom shelf, as in Dragonheart, The Mummy, or The Land Before Time. But the other way around? Never. Never. Except The Fast and the Furious. So how'd they do it? Well, as I said earlier, the third one almost went direct to video, and that would have been a death sentence. As it stood, the second and third movies were critically savaged, and it's not like the first one was winning any awards either. The fourth movie was a stepping stone to greener pastures, a preview of good things to come. I don't know whose idea it was to bring back the original cast, or how they did it, but it led to the best tagline since Alien. New model, original parts. And for those of you scratching your head, Alien from 1979 probably had the best tagline ever. In space, no one can hear you scream. The fifth movie was a landmark, not only for the franchise, but for action movies in general. What was previously the weakness of the franchise, inconsistent casting, became the strength. They brought back nearly every lead and major supporting character from the previous 4 movies. Vince returned from the first one. Tej and Roman returned from the second one. Han returned from the third one. Giselle, Leo, and Santos returned from the fourth one. And even Monica and Letty had small appearances. And then just for the heck of it, they threw in Dwayne Johnson. The cast was monstrous. Fast Five was a greatest hits album of characters from previous movies. And aside from all this, director Justin Lin established himself as a crowd pleaser extraordinaire with the action that he delivered. The 6th, 7th, 8th, and the first spin-off movie have all maintained the worldwide blockbuster status achieved by the 5th. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I think my channel's small enough that I can get away with this. I saw a test screening of F9, and it was amazing. That's all. If I say anything else, I'll wake up with a horse's head in my bed or something. The fourth thing that separates this franchise from the others is probably the most important over the last few years, and that's the relationship with the fans. The Fast and the Furious has no haters. It's not a divisive brand. There are people who love it, there are people who like it, and there are people who don't really care either way. Contrast that with franchises like Star Wars, Star Trek, or Doctor Who. Those fan bases are all in civil war. Entire YouTube channels have been fueled by the divisiveness. I recommend Nerdrotic and Overlord DVD, by the way. I'll link their channels below. They do a really good job speaking for the fans. If you're watching this channel, there's a good chance you have strong opinions about at least one of those other franchises I just mentioned. But that's not the point. The point is that over the last few years, these fan bases have been stricken with such dramatic division, and the Fast and the Furious just has not. Why? It's because the people behind the Fast and the Furious love their fans. They respect them. Am I saying that the people behind Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who don't respect their fans? Yes. You won't find any statements from the Fast and the Furious producers telling their fans to get over themselves or to stop being sexist. In fact, you won't find them saying anything negative about their fans at all. They love their fans. That's why their fans love them back. So we have 4 major differences. How it all started, its bombastic themes of family, its defiance of box office norms, and the way it treats its fans. What's the big deal? Why does that make it the most important franchise of the last 20 years? I'll tell you why. Because when Amazon pays $500 million just for the rights to make a Lord of the Rings show, Fast and Furious is here to remind them that successful franchises can come from magazine articles. When progressives at Disney shove woke messages in their movies, Fast and Furious is here to remind them that traditional themes make more money. When Warner Brothers releases movies like King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, which was supposed to have 5 sequels, by the way. Fast and Furious is here to remind them that master plans are no match for good movies. And when Kathleen Kennedy and Alex Kurtzman tell us that toxic fans are a product of the internet age and we can't escape it, Fast and Furious is here to stubbornly remind them that not all fan bases are divided. I just love that The Fast and the Furious is a thorn in the side of Hollywood, a corrective force in our culture, a franchise that stands for the people. And that is worth celebrating. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.